into my body. I don't know what I did yesterday, but I woke up with like bleeding in my hand yesterday. I was like, I am immersed too much into the Eren pain, so I'm in pain. But whatever. Of course, I can type that. The war begins, right? We have the start now. We have the actual. Like, I'm hyped to see the other characters. Honestly, like I feel like we're gonna have the fight, we're gonna have Eren shit, right? But in a way, I sort of see Mikasa and Jean and Connie and Sasha and so on, Armin. I'm like, what happened to those other characters that I haven't seen in like 5-6 episodes at least? So in a little bit, I'm hoping to see, like the anime design of those characters. We've seen the promo art, right? A little bit of that too, definitely. And of course, seeing the fight and so on. I am a little afraid of. There's gonna be a CG nightmare though, to be honest here. I do think they're gonna be hammer tight and there's gonna be some CG stuff probably. But anyway, let's start watching it. But that is the fear though, right? So 3, 2, 1, and go. This be a flashback before he died then. Yeah. Because in my wait, is that Tiber? He didn't just die? So no, it's like a flashback here in the beginning, I guess. And I did have in my opinion, I think I wrote a really good point actually last week about how he represents basically the whole Roman Empire in Europe, right? The Austrian court, because the Austrian, so the shot in Sarajevo, when the assassination of the current Austrian prince, right? That is the start of World War I. And I think that the Tüber family is basically the Austrian royal family, so it makes sense that he wants to start World War I by attacking Paradise with other with the coalition, right? I will say it again. I feel like a historical aspect here. He's Austria. Here, of course, the Malays are Germany. They're obviously Germany, and he's obviously Austrian. So I think that's like a big difference there. As Austria used to control Germany back in historical aspect. Whatever, I digress. I'm a nerd. I just want to say it, I'm like this. But he's like building up his motivation here. He wants to fight those damn Paradise people, war and shit. He was a bad... he didn't see it coming though, I guess. He did not see it coming. Of course, his plan is to kind of... using the army. So I think one thing I felt last week, I read some comments, people are like, oh, it's his own fault. He started the war with Eren and so on. I'm like, they're the hell of war. Honestly, I think a huge misconception is that he like started the war by saying, hey, let's ally up and fight the people. No. They had war. Was at best a stance. You can have a war that goes over for hundreds of years. We've had war in history that has been 100+ years, right? And just because you're not currently fighting doesn't mean that you have peace, right? You just have currently you're not in combat. So he didn't start the war. The war was already going. In that sense, though, he didn't. Like, it wasn't his fault that the war started, right? Because he was started the war, right? But whatever. I think it's a good point to distinguish, though, that he was not the initiator of this war. This war has been going for 150 years. So it's not his fault in that sense that he died, right? Because it's like, well, I mean, it's gonna win the war. But anyway, I mean, this is kind of him like, we have to make a coalition and defeat those bastard aliens, so on, right? It's kind of like the Shadow Empire, which is also reference to Italy in the, again, Holy Roman Empire, shadow controlling, yada yada, shadow states of Holy Roman Empire and so on. But yeah. I think this is kind of weird because we know that Eren just owned him. Eren just smashed him. So it's a bit like, let me tell you my secret backstory, and then but you saw me die, so it's kind of like a nonsense point. In a little bit. I mean, he's getting all emotional and so on. But you saw him die. So I'm like, you saw his guy, he's got killed, man. And that he survived somehow. I mean, he's a take a Titan's pose, but he was kind of like... Mab is a good character, though. It's like, yeah, see you, war. I see you, war, sir. But I feel, because last episode extended on Tiber's storyline anyway, and they had the romance, and he further explained his idea of the coalition. So this, to me, was already in last episode, basically. There's nothing new here, I feel. I feel this is like more or less the same that he explained last episode. There's a little more his emotions, but it's like... This is basically the same thing again. It's just him iterating his general war agenda and my family, and it's like kind of the same thing. I mean, there's a little more details, but you know, yeah, that's what I meant earlier though. Like, obviously, he didn't start the war because they had a war forever. So he's like, well, you know, this war has been plaguing my family and my father and his father and people and blah blah blah. You know, so he's like, you know, we have to win this war, right? We have to end it. We have to make a coalition and defeat those bastards, right? It's kind of like that thing, which I already said, right? Something like. And yeah, Madbet, of course, agrees. They're like, yes, let's defeat those people. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be opening now. After the handshake, it's gonna be opening time, and then after the opening, they're gonna fight, right? Probably. I think it's gonna be like, yeah, that we see that scene, and now it's opening. Yeah, so Eren's like, he owns him, and then it's probably opening, and that's a fight scene, probably. See my right here, but I think that's pretty much what's gonna happen, right? Okay, CGI Eren immediately. That doesn't, I would say, looks good. Okay, that's good. Eren's like, screw you people. But it's probably open now, yeah, I want to open here. That felt like, okay, it's gonna be opening, and then we're gonna get into an action fight, right? Yeah, I don't know, I mean, it felt like those 5 minutes, that was 5 minutes of him just explaining the exact same thing again. More or less. I mean, I'm being a little nitpicky, I suppose, but I feel he kind of explained the exact same thing again, very new. I mean, sure, it's like a little extra information, but it was very much like... Sometimes you watch a show, right? What's it, anime? It could be a game, it could be anime, right? A movie. And you're like, everything you said to me right now, I already kind of figured out by your last episode. You explained this stuff last episode. This is like a detailing, explaining the same thing again. So that was like 5 minutes of the episode, him explaining, in my opinion, more or less the exact same thing. Just a little more details. I'm just like, I don't know. Not the best start, I would say. That is true though, he knows he's gonna die. Yeah, that's a good point though. Yeah, he's like a martyr, but yeah, I guess it kind of expands a little bit. Like he knows he's gonna die, so kind of. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna, you know, make sure that I die by reasoning. Goddamn those Marleys. I guess it's true, but it does expand on him, his emotions on it. But that's kind of what I mean. It expanded on his emotions, not so much on the actual storyline, because he already explained his plan anyway. So it's like, it's quite long, I feel. But anyway, here we go. The actual, not in a fight, right? I sound like a shonen junkie now. I wanna fight, but it's not that. I just felt there was like 5 minutes was maybe a little too much, I feel, for that explanation of his emotions. Man, that guy looks like a very urban guy. I like it to give up. This guy's like, fuck. that guy you surrendered, he was like, oh shit, this guy is gonna kill me. I'm gonna try to, I'm just gonna, whatever, I'm dead. I know Gab is gonna realize that she's very crushed. I'm getting good from them. It looks good now though. Everyone is getting in the commission. They're all like, holy shit, they're all dying. And they're almost being trampled. And yeah, Gab is so afraid. And she's obviously been likely dead. She's an alien though. Maybe we can save her. Who knows, but probably not. And here we go. Gabby is realizing it's wartime. And we see all the other... Oh yeah, it's gonna be his sister there. Nissan. But it is kind of weird. They're doing a CGI. Oh, here we go. She's gonna do it immediately. Okay. Here we go. I mean, it's kind of signed out. Yeah, here we go, Eren. It's gonna be surprised now, but this was on the preview. Here we go. The real Titan, of course, is... Okay, that's beautiful though. You're transforming? Okay, that was great. It's like, you can't transform in me. Okay, that was good. Eren's like, screw you, woman. You just transform next to me. That's good. He didn't wait for her to transform. I love that, you know. I felt that was very non-anime of him. He's like, he didn't let her go into her true form. He's like, you know, let me transform, boy. He's like, no. That was great though. He's like, no, you know. But obviously, normally, like, I've seen Dragon Ball. Have you seen the Dragon Ball? It's so good in Super Dragon Ball, where Android 17 attacks the girls that are transforming, and Goku's like, what? You can't attack them into transforming? That's against the rules. Like, no, Goku, you can't attack them. You can? And Goku actually believes that you have to, you know, Goku actually believes you have to wait for the enemy to transform. Like, because that's proper fighting conduct, right? So So that was great, but it looks pretty, honestly, yeah, it looks CGI, man. I think this looks worse than previous fight. But here Eren, of course, is owning Hammer Titan so far here. Okay, now it's actually drawn though. Man, it's a bloody episode though. It's... Here we go. There we go. Hammer powers. CGI hammer powers. Man, that thing must look massive. And this rank guy's like, huh? It's like a skyscraper over there. Yeah, but otherwise it all of a sudden transform, right? That must be a massive spike. Suddenly it's like a skyscraper, like a spiral in the town there. But that was good. That was probably my favorite scene so far. The Ares punched her through this machine. Did the time to transform. That was a really good scene. Seriously, that was the best scene. That probably is gonna be hard to beat me because I love that. Yeah, non-cliche. I'm just gonna punch you immediately, not let you, get into your true form and so on. Yeah, no Gab is gonna go crazy here. I'm trying to find Falcon and so on. But I think the actual hammer, the spiral thing looks CGI too, right? So yeah, the power of Hammer Titan is kind of CGI friendly, I suppose, because like transforming weapon and so on. It's like a Carnage or whatever. And here's of course Best Girl Peak. You could think she could just transform, be like whatever. Then we have to go into war. Oh, here's the people she hired earlier. This is the boss she hired. This is her friend that she, her army buddies that she hired earlier. Because everyone loves Peak Shan. They're like, Peak Shan, we're gonna save you! She's like, yeah! See, everyone, so yeah, see, this is her bros. Oh, see, Peak is best girl! As expected by Peak. Peak is like, it's clearly a trap. See, Peak always knows she's just like, I think I'm in a trap. See, that is Peak Shan for you. She told them that I'm hugging you, but it's actually me telling you to come and save me later. See, that's when you love Peak. She's the freaking best character. Oh, has such genius. Oh, finally, Mikasa probably. I can goosebumps. We're finally getting the Paris people. It's CGI houses, but it has to be Mikasa now. Has to be, of course, Yin and so on, but obviously Mikasa's gonna be the main attraction, right? And that's like a CGI spy for cinema. Here we go, Hammer Titan 5. The hammer is like bigger than the whole Titan. That's a very long hammer. Okay. That looks super CGI, certainly does. I mean, I don't want to be that guy complaining, oh nice, it's like the, what it's called, Caltrop attack. Caltrop attack, I mean, putting out the spikes there. Yeah, and of course the Mali is basically, World War I military power, so they have a lot of cannon shit, right? But you would imagine though that they don't have weaponry designed to fight Titans. Because the weaponry is fighting other countries, so the weaponry shouldn't actually be anti-Titan, it's just like a general cannon, right? They don't actually have anti-Titan weapons, because they have the Titans. So why would they have anti-Titan weaponry? They shouldn't have that. But I mean, they have cannons generally, like they have like generally artillery. Because, I do feel they have that looks kind of female, right? A little bit. They kind of have this shape there. But the every Peak content is best content. I mean, there's a great scene though. Peak is like, I'm clearing a trap, come and save me. Like, come on, we need more Peak. Obviously, best girl Peak. She's like, don't trick me. No, Eren is probably gonna jump out of his body here. Yeah, exactly. That's him. Yeah, it's like, that's the bastard, guys. Eren. The tense scene though. He's kind of stuck actually, but I think Eren has some. I want to bet it's gonna be best girl Mikasa. His girlfriend's gonna come in and be like, I'm gonna take care of this. I know everyone's like, man, this is tense. Everyone watching is like, this is very tense. Everyone is like, what is tense? See, it's Mikasa, right? Come on, it's always gonna be Mikasa. It's the first time she's in the season. Yeah, it's the first time she's in Mikasa, right? With the javelin punch thingy. Here we go. Mikasa's gonna win easily. You don't need Eren. Eren is basically a character there to, I say, wait for Mikasa to arrive, right? We all, oh yeah, and then some other random non-named characters. Is that CGI Jean or FLOSH? That was like a CGI character. Maybe CGI Jean or FLOSH? The hair was very weird. And now Mikasa looks super manly. Mikasa has shorter hair and everything, and she's taller and more muscular. She looks super manly. It's Mikasa, very tomboy Mikasa, definitely. It's Mikasa, maximum tomboy. Most certainly Mikasa is as a how I say it right, as as manly as possible. I think that's like the word for it. As manly as possible, Mikasa. But she looks really, you know, she's like shorter hair, more muscular. It's like, yeah, she looks tomboy Mikasa there. Always been a tomboy, but I think it was like FLOSH in CGI. That looked strange though, worse than the Titans, honestly. When we had there was someone flying in there, and I think it was FLOSH hairstyle, but it looked really strange in the CGI thing. That the trailer definitely is another anime, yeah. It's not like fighting the random aliens, I guess. I think we haven't seen like another character thing. Where's my Captain Leva, right? It's interesting now. I'll never get into that. They're gonna like that Jean probably? It's like CGI Jean. Yeah, there's Jean. It's like CGI Jean. It look. I mean, come on. Okay, I don't want to be that guy complaining about CGI, but that looks strange. Can't they like draw? You know, let's FLOSH. Yeah, can't they do like at least these people look strange with their CGI? That could be it. Look, yeah, that looks strange. I mean, it's one thing that the title of CGI, but Jean and FLOSH CGI. This I feel looks even more uncanny valley, where they kind of have the humans and CGI, right, compared to, you know, like the Titans, because they're at least like big monsters. You can live with the CGI, I feel, easier when it's you know, monsters, right? Yeah, like, this is what you done, Eren. Everyone is dead now. Everyone is goddamn killed by you. Yeah, you kind of get used. You have to get used to the CGI. But I do find that a strange problem. So seeing Jean in CGI, that I found kind of strange, because it gives you a weirder feel to it, right? But here we go. She's getting up again. Yeah, and making like a crossbow. Oh, and it shoots. What happened actually? She can create a crossbow with this. I guess Mikasa has avoided it because she's the super OP character, right? That scene was almost too fast there. I was like, what happened? I was like, what? I think Eren has figured out the truth now. This is the place earlier when Eren met his grandpa. Yeah, this is the place when Eren met grandpa. This is the place where he went cray-cray with, you know... Yeah, this is like the veteran hospital kind of place. Got to bring in Gabby and trying to find Falco on. Oh man, that's yeah, it's very bloody now. Yeah, Eren has killed a lot of aliens. Eren, he killed a lot of aliens with that, you know, casualties. It is now Gabby gonna snap here. Yeah, here we go. Now Gabby's like, it's time for me to be the new main character. Here we go. Exactly. It's time for her to be best everything. Is that CGI too? It's like everything is CGI suddenly. He said like Gabby. What is wrong with this guy? It's Gabby. He was like Gabby. What's wrong with that ass actor? But yeah, now Gabby's like, I don't care anymore. I can win myself. Quite effective weapons, right? They're really dangerous. It's like, yeah, they're really good at attacking humans too. They're not only good against Pierce rifle. They're not only good against Titan. Really good at humans too, right? Yeah, she stares down. Oh, look at that. This is Sasha and Gabby stare down. Yeah. There we go. And then CGI Connie for a bit there. Interesting. Oh man. Goes to Signal, right? It's the first time I see Connie, I believe, this season. putting up the CGI signal there. And I'm like a broken record now. He's also CGI. Can't they not do anything not CGI this episode? I mean, I have to say it, right? I mean, it's a good anime. Here, no, Gabby's gonna snap it. Yeah, now Gabby's turning into her, ultimate form here. But I don't want to be that guy, right? Complaining about CGI half the episode. But it looks strange when Connie's putting up a lamp and he's CGI lamping it. Like, it looks strange. Like, it's just weird that everything is CGI. I feel half the episode is CGI. It's more that it's used so heavily, if anything, that it's used on everything suddenly in the episode. But as I mentioned, though, I think it looks decent when they're fighting the Titans. It's weird to see Connie being when he's like putting up a lamp. Like here, I think it looks fine when they're fighting Hammer Titan, right? It is fine, yeah. Hammer Titan gets owned by Mikasa. I mean, it looks crafting something else, like a whip or something. What happened actually? I was like, that was what actually did she craft? She attacked her with it's like a chain whip thing, I guess. She created like some kind of like several a whip with several what it's called like a flail kind of thing, right? Where you have several so kind of like chain flail thing. I guess she created kind of medieval weaponry. But now Eren is figuring out the truth here. Yeah, seeing the how to call it, the connection or whatever. Literal connection here. Here we go. The Hammer Titan's weakness. I think he might know. I don't know. Does he know that? I mean, he knew Tuber pretty well, so he might know the truth here. Yeah, the egg thing here. Here we go. Whoa, and it's... Why would it be blood in it? Whatever. Why would it be fluid in it? Whatever. He snaps off the nape kind of thing. Yeah, it's like a nape... yeah, you get like the egg. The... Wonderful... It's appetizing. Oh, here we go. Yaw Titan. It looks 10 times better than Ymir ever did. This is probably ending though, favorite time premiere. Eren! Oh, Captain Levi? It has to be Levi. Come on, look at Levi. I saw like a snap, and that looks like the Ackerman boy. Exactly. Exactly, if you knew it. It's like I saw the snap, and I was like, he's him right. And we know this guy. Oh no, not that guy! Not the super dangerous monster person. We know Zeke has scared him about... we know Zeke has told him that you have to avoid this person. This Levi guy, he's a monster. We know Zeke has been telling them every day, like, don't fight Levi. He's a monster. See, he's afraid now, like, shit, not Levi, not this guy. See, they're all like, oh shit, not this guy. he knows very well that to be super afraid of Levi, of course he's... oh, he's like attacked by a swarm of humans now, or Eldians, I guess. With Levi, of course, being... okay, yes, by Levi, staring at him. Man, that guy's having some, PTSD or whatever it's called, but it's like, oh shit. He has like a... Oh, what do you call it? He has Zeke's PTSD. He's like, I remember what Zeke told me. He's having like a... I don't know. He has a PTSD effect on his friend's behavior, on connected PTSD. I remember this thing being told to me 10 times. Avoid this person. He was completely in fear there. But yeah, like they were really afraid of Levi. That's a nice ending. Levi staring at him. It's like I can't fight this shit. But yeah, the episode has some good points there, right? We saw Gabby snapping. We saw Gabby, getting her, true form here. She's like, I'm gonna kill them all. We saw Gabby getting angry. We saw Eren. I loved, of course, my favorite part. Talking about the new part, of course, but maybe some after enhance here. But of course, the best part was easily when Eren refused the transformation. That was the best shit. Like, as I mentioned earlier, right? I used to love this so much in Dragon Ball Super, where Android 17 does the same thing, and Goku is like, "Well, you can't do that. It's against the rules of fighting. It's like you have to be properly wait for her to transform to get her true form." And he's like, "Why? Why would I just not kill them before they transform? Like, why would I let them turn into their, ultimate Bankai or whatever? Why can't I just kill them before they go Bankai?" He's like, "But that's not how you do it, man. That's against any kind of." That is true, definitely. Eren is absolutely her Titan. Here's the preview. Oh, Zeke is there, and of course Best Girl Peak is there with her, bromance team, and oh yeah, so the preview ends with Levi attacking Zeke. that looks good though. Okay, we can go talk with the preview first. That is like a beautiful. We know what's gonna happen next episode. It's gonna be Zeke crying a lot. Where is it? There we see Gabby running there, looking angry, but. What was that scene in the preview? The last second. This scene here, like we know that the preview, this is the last scene in the preview, right? And then Levi stashed him again. Sam is like, yeah, this is gonna be good. We know what's gonna happen here. This is the last scene in the preview. Levi is like, I got you, Zeke, this time! It's my time! Not that monkey business. We know this is gonna be like, finally... This time I will cut you, monkey, right? So that's good. That's good. They know what we want to see, right? They know we want to see the. What is it? That the 4th time they fight or something? We know like like we're gonna have the Levi versus Zeke battle again, right? And Zeke is gonna have more issues. Like he's gonna be almost more afraid than Raynor, right? To be alive, eventually having to be attacked by Levi every goddamn week. Where he's like, oh no, not this thing again. But yeah, that was beautiful when. But he was so afraid of. See, I mean, we just loved it because he's never met, Porsche's never met Levi before. But immediately when Levi stashes him, he's like, no, not that guy, I heard about him, he's freaking crazy. Like, that was a good scene too. It's like, not Levi, not the legendary badass. So that was nice. But otherwise, yeah, let's review it, right? I think, I said it several times, but for me, of course, the favorite scene in the episode was when Eren punched her in the face before she transformed, during that transformation, because it's such a non-cliche part, right, where the main character is like, oh, you're transforming, bam, before you transform, right? Because obviously there's a Bleach poster behind me, so on, right? I always wondered, kinda, why no one ever is like, Bleach, right? Oh, so you have a Bankai? What if I just kill you before you Bankai, right? Or what if I fight a Super Saiyan? And before they go into the Super Saiyan form, I kill them immediately before they transform into their blonde, lightning-shaped form. Like, why does no one ever just defeat them before they transform, right? And that's always been a thing, right? You have to like proper battle is like, you have a secret form. Well, let me see your secret form. Oh, cool. Now let me go into my secret form. You get back and forth, right? Let me do a power twist, especially in Bleach. It's like, I have a secret third Bankai. So I think that was that was beautiful how Eren was like, screw you, right? Screw you. I'm just gonna stop you from going to your form, right? So that was really beautiful. I don't think I can show this in here though, because it was kind of scary, right? But that's a good scene. I don't want to be the guy to be like, CGI is, I want to be that guy. I don't think the CGI, as I mentioned, the reaction part, I don't think the CGI was that bad during the fight. As you can find a scene here in like Hammer Titan and so on. What was that minute? Hammer Titan. I like here. This is a good Hammer Titan, like a random Hammer Titan scene. I don't think this scene is particularly bad, right? I think the Hammer Titan looks fine when she's moving around and so on. Generally, as I mentioned earlier during the reaction part, I found, most Hammer Titan parts versus Eren to look perfectly fine, right? So I think they all work. But the problem isn't, of course, and I think this is fair to say. I know it's like nitpicky, but I think the problem is that the fight scenes it's much easier for just your brain, right? For how the gamma in your brain works, like gamma fractions in your brain, to accept. Okay, here are two monsters fighting, and they are CGI, like a game or whatever, right? That's easier to accept than seeing like Yin with this like really weird CGI hair and like very stiff body language. That piece is weird when Yin and Connie and so on and FLOSH, when they are like CGI during like a conversation, right? That just seems really off. So I think that's fair to say, because then it looks really weirdly uncanny valley, where like why are we CGIing, the normal humans? They're just standing there, right? It is of course probably like a time constraint and a body constraint, but you know what I mean. That's a kind of weird thing. So here's a good example of That's like a guy. Probably the best scene in Arise. So I can find the scene here when he stands on the rooftop. That looks really. Here, this is a scene I mean here. This is exactly the scene I mean here. So here Yin, right? This is of course Best Boy Yin, my favorite character and things like that. So Best Boy Yin arrives on this, like the rooftop, fought some human, right? And this I feel looks strange. This I feel you have to admit this looks strange, right? Because his hair up here, this looks really weird. It's really. So your way you do high quality hair, right? In animation, which I worked with like 10 years ago, is you have to like animate every hair strand. It's really really annoying to do, right? So you don't do that. It's too costs, right? So instead you kind of make like a one big model, right? It's one light map per hair basically, and that looks like one model hairstyle, and it looks really weird. Then it looks like he doesn't have hair. It's more like a hat or something, right? It's more like one thing that is kind of like, something like that. So I think that's where the CGI went too far. I think the battle was fine. The battle was like, yeah, I mean, I've seen better CGI. Obviously, Beastars is better CGI. I think Beastars is amazing CGI, right? I'm a huge fan, of course, Orange and Hoshin Kuno, so that's amazing CGI Studio Orange. But I think the fight was perfectly fine. But the weird thing is this thing, when they're doing like humans as CGI and they are like talking and so on, and they look this hair and the body language, it's kind of like the berserk when you're like, hello Flosh, what are you doing, right? And their body is very like rigid and they don't really animate the flow and so on, right? So I think that was kind of like that I think you have to say, especially from a technical standpoint. From a technical standpoint, that was strange, and it felt, or I say it feels, I suppose, unfortunate. Because it's probably, budget constraints, time constraints, and all that stuff, right? I cannot see anyone wanting to do this purposely. I can't see anyone being like, how can we do this cost effectively? It's probably, that's probably what it is. They're like, how can we make this happen? So that was a bit strange. Definitely was a bit strange. But anyway, so of course, otherwise the episode I think is a lot about Gabby losing it, right? And she stares down those goddamn alien bastards. Where's the scene where she's like, time to go Gabby mode. I'm gonna call it Gabby mode. Where is it? I find there's one perfect scene where she looks afraid first, but after that scene she looks really, really angry. She's like, oh, I am ready. And of course she picks up here it is. She grins her teeth. This is my Gabby, She's like, oh, I'm ready. This is the scene that we all waited for. Where Gabby's like, I'm gonna show them, those aliens. So, but honestly though, I mean, I keep saying that, Gabby is the new main character, right? And this episode really is a lot of Gabby, right? It's a lot of Gabby scenes. She sees her friend being, tightened. She sees her friend being tightened. She sees her other friend is alive, I believe, but he's injured, and she hasn't seen Falco, right? She doesn't know what Falco is. And, her, those guards, the Marley guards, they're Marlians, but they're nice to her. Her friendly, Marlier friends, right? They were nice to her, even though she's an alien and so on. They just got, like, sniped and so on, right? So, this is after her, Marley bros got attacked, right? Or I think one of them died, definitely. And, of course, now Gabby's like, okay, seriously, I am Gabby. Yeah, Gabby mode time, right? So, Gabby's getting into that. Her true, perfect form, right? And that's going to be interesting to see next week. Definitely. And of course, it's going to be a lot of Gabby in every episode. So I say it every time. You get used to it, man. She's the main character. Forget about Eren. See, I don't understand reference. I mean, I get... No, the problem isn't CGI Eren. The problem is like FLOSH CGI. Like, that's... I think again, I'll say it again, iterating. I think that the colossal titan, so to speak, well, not but like the hammer titan and so on, but that was fine. The problem is the Yin and FLOSH scene with the CGI. That is really weird. That is like, what's it? But anyway, yeah. It's a lot of Gabby build-up, right? And I would say then quite plot predictability. Whatever. Whatever. Last scene we have to mention, right, is of course Best Girl Peak, right? I love that scene with Peak. Aspected by Peak, it's like a meme, right? But Peak is really, I think, easily the best female character in Attack on Titan in many aspects. and it's gonna be some other good, peak scenes, right? And I think that's a beautiful scene how, because Peak is stuck in the well, right? Which of course, the guy like was super afraid of Levi, so she helped him escape. Didn't do much, but basically, right? How I say it, Peak actually hugged her, friends, right? And was like, "This is a trap. Come and save me." I think that was beautiful. Yeah, Peak is like, no, this is actually a trap. Come and save me, right? So I think that's like a really good scene from Peak, that she actually isn't going into a trap and like a fool. She actually is like, no, I know this is a trap. I'm just gonna like tell people to come and save me and so on. So I think that scene must be beautiful because you saw it hug last episode. And there's like, oh yeah, my bros from the canon, woo, they're like, yeah, Peak Sean, and they're like, oh yeah, and so on, right? But she actually is like, this is a secret trap, those guys are damn evil Eldians, come and save me, guys. So that was a really nice scene, and it keeps building up that Peak is like a genius character. But really though, Peak is probably the most talented character to have, because he's always like, I see this strategy, right? And I understand, see, this is your true plan and so on. So Peak is always like the super brainy character, which I think is hilarious because she looks like the stupidest card titan, right? I mean, the card titan looks like it's this kind of mule that has like no intelligence, IQ 1, right? But actually, Peak is like the smartest character in the anime. But no, but seriously, I guess Armin is supposed to be this genius character too, right? But I would say Peak is easily the smartest Marley, but on the Marley side, like she's probably by far, I would say, has the most intelligent scenes on the Marley side, right? And I think that's beautiful because she has in my opinion, I think people agree with me, right? The most, like, her Titan form looks like the dumbest, right? Come on. Her Titan form looks like the dumbest. We all have to agree on that, right? But she actually is the smartest girl in here, right? So she looks, as a normal form, she looks intelligent, but her cart Titan form is kind of like, come on. But the aspect is my Peak, right? That was a good episode, and of course, next week is gonna be lit, right? We're gonna see more of the Gabby rage, probably see more of the fights, combining powers. We didn't see too much of like Connie and Sasha and so on. It was like Connie was like a minute. He put up some, flare. Armin hasn't appeared yet. He hasn't Armin yet. And of course Levi. Okay, that looked good in the preview. It was like Levi versus Zeke. We're all waiting for the rematch, turn round 5 or something. Let's fight Levi Zeke again, right? We're all waiting for Zeke to be like, oh no, not this guy. One thing though didn't happen at all, which I wonder how they can do that, is of course Rainer. Because Rainer was kind of like, I'm just surrendering. Rainer was like, whatever, you just kill me, Eren, I don't care anymore. So he didn't transform. He's like, well, I'm hiding somewhere in the basement. So I wonder how they're gonna do Rainer. And for that matter, I did love that Marley guy when Eren transformed, right? There was one Marley guy that they were sitting there being like, okay, this is my die. Wasn't that that's the last point? I love that guy. I love it, but I felt that was like an interesting scene because everyone else is running away, right? After the opening, and one guy sits there and is like, whatever, I'm just gonna die. He doesn't even try to escape. He's like, nope, this is my fate. I'm taking this guy. I kind of like this guy, yeah, because everyone else, right? This guy he's like secret best character, best boy character. Everyone else are running away, right? And they're like, get me out of this stuff, right? Get me out of this stuff. Yeah, everyone else is running away, and this guy who stood there, and he stares at Eren, and he's like, just come and get me, right? This guy is like, nope, I'm not moving. I gotta think it dies, but he was kind of a cool character. How he sat there and be like, nope. I wasn't even gonna try to run away. This is probably he's like the toughest Molly guy ever. He's just like staring down the alien monster and like, you just fight me, man. You just fight me, right? He's like, you just go for it. So, yeah, I gotta get props for this guy. I do believe he gets, Eren probably, I don't know, kills him later. But yeah, I kind of like that he sat there. Everyone else is afraid. He's just like, this is my day. We have had war for many years. This is my day. Whatever. This is my fate. Yeah, I'm out of shit. So interesting character. He was like, no, I'm not gonna run away. But yeah, my poster was amazing, right? And actually, for a side note, that was kind of funny. I said the side note as a comment there. I had an interview for a consulting gig this week, and I got a comment from one of the guys interviewing me. This is like a short consulting gig for an e-commerce site. And he was like, why do you have hen stuff in your background? And I was like, hen stuff? Hibiki with her, I mean, anime is at hand is because it's anime. So no, but honestly, it happened to me. Yeah, last Thursday week, he was like, you have 2 sexy posters there. So he thought it was hen stuff because it's like, I don't know, oppais or something. I don't know. It was a weird scene of it. It was a weird experience. I was like, what, man? I don't have that good of a poster behind me. But anyway, yeah. See you guys. Of course, after this, we're gonna watch. I can never remember the name. The Isekai, Moshiku Tensai, which I think was a really good isekai. It was a really good episode. I recommend it. It was really funny, reincarnation scene and so on. That's coming after this, right? And then Non Biari episode. So then subscribe guys, but like button, of course. Next week we have Dr. Stone, you know, Black Clover, Clover Suit. We have all the other animes right back, Promise Neverland, all the good stuff, right? And of course, for that matter, I did live action listen to One Piece, right? Which is a very good episode. The ultimate episode, as it literally called. The ultimate episode. But anyway, that's it for you guys. See you guys and come back soon with the reaction and reviews I want to